What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chase, aka CRMedia. Welcome to the 19th edition of the I-70 Hot Tag, guys. Tonight, we're going to sit down with one of the most popular wrestlers in the Midwest, the Mile High Magnum, Dak Draper. We're going to talk to Dak about his beginnings, his past, and of course, what he's got coming up on Saturday, August 27th. We're also going to break down the card for PIW Aftermath in Lawrence, Kansas, and WrestleMax in St. Louis. So stay tuned, guys. The I-70 Hot Tag is coming at you live.
This is Cody Howell represents the tribe.
This is Ryan the Infinite Gingell.
This is Luke Langley.
Derek Stone.
This is Mighty Micah.
This is Brock Anderson, and y'all are watching I-70 Hot Tag.
And now, CRMedia presents the official podcast sponsor of CSW Horsemen Country, the I-70 Hot Tag, with your host, Chaos Chase, and the real Josh Elliott.
Hello, everyone, and again, thank you for joining us on the 19th episode of the I-70 Hot Tag, almost 20 episodes deep. My name is Chase. You guys know me as CRMedia 1988 on social media. To my right is my co-host, the real Josh Elliott, who also runs the I-70 Hot Tag social medias. Josh, how you doing tonight, sir?
Fantastic, man. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic as well. Had an early night at work, so wasn't on till 8 or wasn't on at work until 8:20, and struggling to switch over to the stream and get all that stuff going. But yeah, man, I got a fantastic show for you guys. As you guys know, we always love to plug the social medias. So let's get that out of the way before we get into the all the good stuff. We're live right now on Twitch, twitch.tv/CRmedia1988. We are also live on YouTube and Facebook at the I-70 Hot Tag. So please, if you are watching this, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you aren't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and hit that. And while you're at it, do me a favor and hit that notification bell. So you're going to get notifications about the I-70 all the time on your cell phone. You're going to ignore the notifications anyway, so you might as well get another one, and make sure the I-70 Hot Tag is it. We greatly appreciate that. You're going to, like I said, we talked about the Twitch. On Instagram. I'm also on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, guys. You're going to find me at the same place, at CRmedia1988. Trying to make that push on TikTok to get to 1,000 so we can go live on TikTok as well. And why do we want to do that, Josh?
To saturate the market.
I love it when you talk dirty to me. I like that. So, Josh, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social media?
Absolutely. You can find me at the real Josh Elliott. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. That's my personal accounts. A lot more Pepsi talk as that's where I'm employed. But if you want to hear about the I-70 Hot Tag, the local independent wrestling talk, I do run the I-70 Hot Tag social media accounts. We have an Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Also have a TikTok and YouTube. And like Chase said, we are live right now on Facebook and YouTube on the I-70 Hot Tag pages. But if you're watching on those pages, be sure to download Twitch. Go sign up for an account and go watch this on CRmedia 1988 and get those views on our Twitch page, CRmedia 1988. That is the preferred method to view this. So greatly appreciate you guys joining in, guys. We have a fantastic show for you.
Absolutely. Before we get into the show, though, I do want to take 1 second here to talk about. Just want to give a shout out to last week's guests. The pit stops guests, the Rays, Arjun
Singh,
and then the I-70 Hot Tag guests from last week, Billy Starks. If you guys missed those interviews, I highly recommend going and checking those out. You can watch the videos on demand on Twitch or on YouTube. Billy Starks was a fantastic interview. She's 17 years old and she's taken over professional wrestling. It's wild and crazy. So definitely go listen to that on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, I was gonna say, are those on Spotify yet?
No, neither one of them are. But you know what? It's all right. You could come catch the show live.
Yep.
You know, that's all.
Yep.
You know, that's what it's here for. We're doing it live. So
Absolutely.
you wanna watch it, live. If not, you may wait a week.
Yeah, and that's because Josh doesn't hurry up on uploading those. So
yeah.
Anyways, Josh, you want to introduce our guest? I know
Yes,
you're a
sir.
huge fan, and I know
Yes,
you're a huge
sir.
fan, and you've been a huge fan since this gentleman came to Kansas City. So I will let you do the honors of introducing and playing the promo video.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have he's going to be going one-on-one for the first time ever at CSW Horsemen Country on August 27th against Moonshine Mantell. Let's bring in the Mile High Magnum, Dak Draper. What's going on, Dak? How you doing?
That video, I think I have a new favorite wrestler.
Same here, man. Same here.
So, guys, we're really lucky because for months and months in my Instagram DMs by the fake Josh Elliott trying to get me on the I-70 blind tag. I'm really glad that I ended up in the right place. So, thanks for having me on.
I tried to tell Josh. Luigi Primo actually came on here and warned Josh about that. That there is a bunch of fake Josh Elliott's out there, and Luigi's been trying to throw saucepans at him. So
A conglomerate. Did Luigi Primo get dough in the microphone? Trust. You know, being in a locker is a pain in the ass. There's dough everywhere, flour. If you're somebody like me, you kind of like you watch what you eat. It's kind of hard having a pizza man back there.
Absolutely. So Dak, we greatly appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight. I always tell everybody that the idea of these interviews are to help our viewers get to know you a little bit better. Obviously, a lot of our people who watch are Kansas City wrestling fans and are very familiar with Dak Draper. But this kind of helps peel a layer back and help you get some exposure out here. Okay.
Sure.
Absolutely. So the question I always like to ask everybody to start this off is, I want you to tell us and tell our viewers, who is Dak Draper?
I'm so many great things about me. It's hard to believe that I'm real. I'm tall. I'm handsome. I'm marketable. I'm athletic. Did I mention how tall I am?
You did.
Absolutely.
I feel like where I go, I always inspire people to tell stories about me. And if you tell me to people, they're not going to believe that they're real because they're going to think you're making this guy up. One guy, but somehow I manage.
I like it. So, how did you first become a fan of professional wrestling?
So remember, like my first wrestling memory where I thought wrestling was cool. I was laying and I remember we were eating strawberry popsicles we were watching wrestling, and I don't remember what age I was, but I remember seeing Macho Man give that axe handle off the apron. I just thought that was so cool. And that was like my first wrestling memory. And after that, I was like, yeah, this is something I enjoy. So very, very young age. Old enough those are. Not young enough to know what year it was or anything else.
Nice.
So, kind of talking about those beginnings in professional wrestling. What year did you have your first match ever professionally?
Oh, my first match would have been in 2012, I believe. Just gotten done with college wrestling, and I had my first time in a wrestling ring, and it's like there was no independent wrestling around where I went to college and become a pro wrestler is like you go to the WCW power plant or something. But like I knew of like OVW and get signed by WWE as an athlete probably. But I was 1-0 in amateur MMA, and I was training for MMA. And after college wrestling, that's what I was going to do. I got approached at the National Wrestling Tournament by Jerry Briscoe. They were looking for big athletes, and so my first time in a ring was in Tampa at Florida for a tryout, and I didn't get signed from that first tryout. And I went to Colorado. They said like there's a wrestling, so it was like 300 miles from where I was. By the end of the week, I had moved there, and I had my first match like 2 months later. It was It was atrocious. Into wrestling, I discovered Pat Tanaka at a seminar, and he kind of like adopted Jay, and he was like, he would show me stuff. He would help get me on shows and stuff like that, and I kind of traveled around with him.
Fantastic. Dak, I was going to ask you, do you have we're getting a lot of skipping audio.
Oh, for me? Let's see. I don't know if the internet.
I think so.
And he's gone. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're live. So that
We're live.
Yep. That tends to happen sometimes, and that's okay. We're gonna get Dak back in here momentarily. But yes, okay.
All right, guys, I'm back though.
Welcome back.
Yes.
All right, I don't control the internet. There's a storm.
That's
right now. So.
You are all good, sir. We will work with it. The same thing just happened to me last night while I was doing a show, where somebody was trying to fix their audio, and then they were like, they left and they didn't come back for the rest of the night.
Could this be the fake Josh Elliott?
It could have been. It could have been.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just.
They're running.
I ate it. It's all adding up, guys.
Yep.
So, you talked about, your beginnings, how you got started in pro wrestling. Dak, I want to kind of put you on the spot here. I'm kind of going off script. Josh doesn't like it when I do this because stuff gets a little crazy. But while, you were doing those beginnings in professional wrestling, were you wearing like a Jake Plummer jersey or, Brandon Marshall jersey or
Brandon Marshall jersey? Not really. I was like, because I was in Colorado, everybody was a Broncos fan there. Like I wasn't. That would have been like, I feel like there were already like 2 or 3 guys on shows walking around, and oh man, when I started, it would have been Tebow, and I kind of looked like Tebow, and so everyone won by a girl because I moved to Denver during Tebow Mania. Was trying to chant Tebow at me, and then also like girls used to roll up on me and think that I was Tim. No, trust me, I'm not. Yeah, that was the thing. I think I probably stole. Look, maybe.
I'll tell you, I've always joked with my friends that are Kansas City fans, that you're the only Broncos fan that I like in general. So,
Well, that means a lot of things to a lot of people, and so
Yeah.
each time I hear that, it
Good. I wanted to bring up, we talked about your beginnings in professional wrestling, and I feel like we wouldn't be doing a service if we didn't bring up Travis Tyler from NXT.
Tyler, he had a flip mouth and a bad attitude.
Yeah,
man, look at that.
They're
South Tampa Tanning. Those ladies at South Tampa Tanning, they took such good right hand shade. It was like, I feel like at that point I was treating my spray tan importantly than I treated the gym.
I was gonna say, you look in monster shape, especially standing next to a guy who used to be an offensive tackle in the NFL, for crying out loud. So,
Guys, I'm super shape.
Right.
Yeah, I every single time I see this picture, Dak, I wonder why by bum ass Corbin is on WWE television and Travis Tyler is not, because Travis Tyler is stacked.
I feel like Tyler's Tyler, and that was the end of Travis. I don't know that mullet. I don't know if that mullet was very marketable in 2013.
Well, I'll tell you what. I went back and watched your last tag match with Angelo Dawkins and the Vaudevillains today, and it was right around that time, very close. Yeah, your hair looked about the same as it does now. You didn't have the hair you had in the picture with Corbin.
Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for that because you were supposed to get. I didn't get that haircut approved, and oh my God, it felt so good in Florida. Walking out PM and this like warm breeze blows on me, and I hadn't felt like the wind on the sides of my head, and like it was great.
Awesome.
But yeah, I got in trouble the next day when I walked in. Thank God I'm handsome. So good with short hair. They would have been even more angry at me.
Was that right around the time that that Travis Tyler was released from NXT?
Quickly before Travis Tyler was released, definitely on the way out. Definitely kind of stepping.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. I was gonna say, well, I hope the haircut wasn't the reason why we didn't see Travis Tyler in NXT anymore.
I think there was a cornucopia.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Draper.
I'll tell you what. It was their loss because we got Dak Draper out of it. So, yeah, agreed.
Yes, good. So before Dak Draper, right after Travis Tyler, you kind of moved to Denver and changed to Sammy Six Guns. Where did that name come from?
I don't know. We were like, I got released. We went to the beach. We did a lot of drinking at the beach, and by the time I was Sammy Six Guns Jr., which means we had to manufacture Sammy Six Guns Senior. And so we used to make this old man. We would dress him up in a singlet, and he would manage me at shows, and he was Sammy Six Guns Senior, and he was a liability. He would say awful things into a microphone, and he had a gift for finding where promoters would hide the mic from him. And at this point in Denver, in Denver with where I was at, so I would do things like that. Yeah, this is my manager. He has to manage me. Oh yeah, promo. You should probably stop him. So that was Sammy Senior was a really fun time, but also it was a little hectic sometimes. I believe Anaya pants. It was good.
Nice. So was it just around the Denver area, or did you kind of travel around with Sammy?
I traveled around a little bit. In Las Vegas, Tyler Cintron and I were the FSW Future Stars of Wrestling Tag Team Champions. We would go to I would go down to Albuquerque for some shows down there, around in the areas of the states go to Utah, stuff like that. States that bordered Colorado. And then I got a call from Chris Goff to the Bob Geigel of 2016, Chris Goff, Kansas City.
Yep.
For the NWL. Oh, it was great.
So speaking of that, I see you're wearing your National Wrestling League shirt, which my good friend Josh just recently deemed as one of the greatest wrestling logos ever.
Right?
Yeah.
This is definitely Dak Draper.
It's fantastic.
I get this logo. Dak Draper.
Yeah, and it also looks.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that the logo resembles a Pepsi logo very much, and Josh is very much a Pepsi guy.
Yep.
So, I see.
Yep.
They Pepsi pays his bills.
This
So.
jug right full of Pepsi.
I like it. That's how you keep that physique. It's just chugging Pepsi.
Just stop by the soda fountain.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wanted to just acknowledge a couple of comments here. So, Big Country Stockdale says Dak used to love when the fans chant "Whitey Tidies."
Oh yeah, it was Tidies from home, and they would try to shame me. No, that Big Underwear, the Big Underwear Corporation was paying me to do that. So. No, I love that. Well, retroactively, I love that. When the fans used to giant whitey tighties, there was a guy that had a pair of whitey tighties that was like, it looked like a Paris head. He had his kids at the shows with him. They were definitely embarrassed.
We also got a couple comments in here from Autumn and Alyssa. One says, yo. The other one says, the logo looks cool. Agreed. The logo does look very cool. And Autumn says, cute doggy.
Oh, yeah, he is cute. Dog Draper, and he knows it. He gets away with everything.
So, we talked about NWL. You were one of the first signings for Major when the National Wrestling League, came about. You were also the first NWL champion. We've had a lot of guests that spoke very highly about their time in NWL, Dak. But do you have that same feeling, or do you have any good NWL stories?
Oh, yeah. Oh, best. Oh, my God. So, first off, NWL, I didn't know what to expect when they brought me in. And it's Denver at the time, and it's Kansas City, so I expected them to be like, yeah, can you drive out here to check out what we have going on? Your flight is in 2 days. And I was like, oh, wow, like you got me a flight on super short. Me to Kansas City. I get picked up by like a limo service and service to take me to downtown. They have this giant building, and it's like they have like an entire floor building in downtown Kansas City. I'm blown away. I feel like I'm going to like Titan Towers. Like it's insane. And I come in and like meet Major. Major's like almost my height. And he was cool. You could definitely tell he was just like super high power business dude. Meet everybody, and it was so wild to me because most wrestling operations, the people are pretty like used to around the office, and like the office people are like, oh my God, a wrestler is here today. Wow, look, the wrestler. Really not from wrestling. And so it was just kind of like very, very different, and looking for a change in my career. And I was, you know what, like I'm down to do this, and contract that trip, and decide. And that was like late 2016 and early 2017 in City for NWL. And we had like training every day. They had a training center. We had training 3 days a week. We had lifting. Derek Stone was our coach. He taught me a ton of stuff, fitness and pro wrestling and life. It was I really focus on wrestling full time at a time when I had no other opportunity. It helped me get so much better, and just to be able to like be a part of a show that had like I was at a weekly storyline. It was so nice to be so focused on what we had going on, and we felt so like passionately for NWL. I remember like we would fight, like we were down to like fight people for NWL. Like we were very, very passionate at the end. And so yeah, like I felt really good about it. Some after NWL shows is the Regal Twins are like, I feel like the Regal Twins were like little celebrities around Kansas City. I like to imagine if there was like the Kansas City going out, if there was a Vanderpump Rules of Kansas City, the Regal Twins would defters on it. They would always arrange bottle service for us at Mosaic. So we went at Mosaic downtown after NWL shows. And that always was phenomenal shenanigans. Typically Mike Outlaw inciting riot. Typically if a Raven or a not Ravens. Cause see, I remember when I lived in a Chiefs player or a Royals player like came in with like their like group of friends. Mike Outlaw was always, for a lot of times when we were getting thrown out of Mosaic, while like because we were like getting into it, it was always very, very, very hilarious. Yeah, man, I love Kansas. It was a great time. And then like as wildly and quickly as it began, one day, and everybody kind of went their separate ways, and I moved out to the East Coast.
Yeah, we like I said, we hear a lot of great stories about NWL, and we were huge NWL fans ourselves.
Yep.
And I always tell everybody, like while NWL was fantastic, I felt like NWL was fantastic because of who was there. You, Wyatt, Ryan, Thor, all those guys. And I feel like, the Howlets, all those guys made NWL what it was. So, it's kind of cool to see you guys still kind of like stick together and go to see you guys perform together in CSW, Journey Pro, and all those places.
Well, that's the thing. Matchmaker Michael Strider does a great job getting all that talent together. Yes, Central States, like that's the place to see me in the city. I really enjoy the show. It's so well done. It's awesome.
Yep. So before we get into the CSW talk, I did want to ask you, just right, somewhere in the 2019 area, you were in a top prospect tournament for Ring of Honor. Kind of talk to us about that Ring of Honor run, kind of how that came about for you to join ROH.
More, and I started getting involved. I went to a few Ring of Honor shows, did a couple dark matches, and I got asked to be in the top prospect tournament, and ended up. I faced a guy named Makita in the first round in Nashville, and then faced a guy in Detroit named the Haitian Sensation. That's a Haitian, and I remember he had like beads braided into his hair, and they would like, it was like I almost got like whipped in the teeth a few times with it, but I sort of won that, made it into the finals in Las Vegas against Austin Gunn. Like really fun like matches that I'd had were in Vegas when I'd been Sammy Six Guns Jr. and tournament in the finals against Austin Gunn. So yeah, I was the 2019 tournament winner, and then the world stopped. Happened.
Yep.
So we started doing those shows with no fans.
No fans, yeah.
I thought the pure division was really cool because I could lean back on my amateur wrestling, collegiate wrestling background, and really integrate some of that because I couldn't rely on as much just like traditional like wrestling that I had been used to using on pulling a lot of my amateur background into my to help me reach a different level as a professional wrestler.
Right. It's crazy when that pandemic hit. I knew the fans were a big part of like the live experience, but seeing it on TV, I didn't realize how big of an impact that they play on a production level. Watching WWE or AEW, Ring of Honor, with no fans there, the excitement kind of just, the action of the ring is still just as good, but the excitement for viewers are just, it just lowered a lot for the people at home watching. So it was a crazy time.
Very crazy time. That's the way a lot of the things that I really love about wrestling too. Like I'm a locker room guy. I love and telling stories in the locker room and like hanging out with the boys, and that took all that away. Like separated and everything. All the environments became very, very sterile, where it was just kind of like boring. And so, like obviously, it was necessary.
Yep. So Jason Wallace just going to the chat here. Seen you right before COVID in Kansas with the real Josh Elliott. So Jason's my uncle. I took him to Journey Pro at the end of 2019. I believe it was Die Hard was a Christmas Story, or is a Christmas Story. I think that was the event we saw you at.
And who did I wrap?
I don't remember. I honestly don't. He bought a shirt though. He's got one of your I think it's one of your white and pink Dak Draper shirts. So he's definitely got a Dak Draper shirt on.
Man tag.
That might have been it. Yeah.
Stallion versus someone else.
Yeah, I think it was the same night that Wyatt and Gary J wrestled that 60-minute Ironman or 60-minute time limit draw match. I think that was the same night.
I forgot about that. I was very injured during that match. I could like barely move. My knee was really hurt. I hurt my knee wrestling Shaheem Ali at the ECW arena the week before.
Oh wow. Yep. So definitely Jason Wallace, a big Dak Draper fan.
Yeah, it's good. That's the only way to be.
There you go.
Jason Wallace, not to throw him under the bus, but is also a very, 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 very huge Jeremy Wyatt fan.
Oh,
so
he's just saying that because he wants to seem like he knows what he's talking about, because that's what the people talking about say.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. If you're Jeremy Wyatt, every single move Jeremy Wyatt does, exactly, you boom.
I'm gonna say nobody really likes Jeremy Wyatt. I mean, he's good, but nobody really likes him.
Yeah.
No.
So Dak, I wanted to ask you. You've worked for multiple companies here in the Midwest. All throughout Missouri, Kansas, and then obviously for Rocky Mountain Pro in Colorado. But I want to talk to you about your relationship with Joe and Michael Strider at CSW. What sets them apart from other promotions that you've worked for?
Oh, I just really like the vision that Strider was someone that I worked with at NWL here there, and I really developed a good relationship with him, and I respect the way that he looks at wrestling. And they've always taken really good care of me, bringing me out to Kansas City. And since I've been involved with Central States, and I've just had really good experiences. The main thing for me is they treat the wrestlers like professionals, and they portray them, and that goes a long way for me. Like, absolutely, when you come to a Central show where the entire show is tied together, you can bring your whole family, and everyone's going to be entertained. Grandmas are. There's a little bit of something for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yep. Couldn't agree more, Chase.
Pizza's in there, and you're going to have Lionel Howlett bleeding all over the pizza sauce.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. I had a little bit of that myself. So we were front row for that match, and I got Ania's blood all over me.
I got busted open in Tampa a couple weeks ago. I hit my head. I got busted open in Tampa, and oh my god, this so he had a manager, and she was standing in front of the ring. I still over the man. I'm awesome, and rolled him up to win. But then he hit me in the back afterwards, and it made blood directly into his manager's mouth. She was disgusted.
That is pretty disgusting.
Pretty good. Pretty good. So wanted to shift gears a little bit. August 27th, CSW Horseman Country. You're going to go one-on-one for the first time ever against Moonshine Mantell. But this is not the first time you guys have been in the same ring together. Kind of talk to us about your history with Moonshine.
Moonshine Mantell and I have such a history. So I mentioned going down to those when I was Sammy Six Guns Jr. Moonshine Mantell would have never been in the city wrestling scene if it wasn't for Dak Draper. We met at a show in Albuquerque, and he asked to borrow my exercise bands. And I said, oh, this guy is cool. He worked NWL. They were asking about guys that I thought were good. He got signed. We became roommates. So Moonshine Mantell and I, we were like this. We were roommates. We lived in an apartment together, did everything, trained together, meal prepped together. We were on the same diet. It was like such a similar life. We spent all day just watching wrestling, eating, lifting weights, going to both became so much better together, and this silent tension about like who was better, like about like us, and you could just tell the other one wanted that too, and it was never enough. And so there's always been this tension brewing between us. It's always kind of been like two ships passing, but people would always try and put us together because we were huge care. And he was the St. Louis champion, and I was the Kansas City champion, and put us together to face Haku and the Barbarian. And so we tagged against Haku. Haku chopped my soul. Only one chop, but back. But he was the guy that I wanted. If you're going to be in there against Haku and the Barbarian, you want my side. And so that's the kind of guy that Moonshine was and is. It comes down to it at Central States. As you start to climb to the top, narrow, there are less guys the closer you get to the top. And we're starting to see this room's getting kind of small off. And when it comes to the Central States wrestling title picture, Moonshine guys that are eventually going to run into each other. And so here it is, because after this, it stands in the way between either Dak Draper or Moonshine Mantell and a title shot.
Yeah.
We are super excited about this match, sir. So we have talked about obviously, we've built this card up on this show a lot. And, we've talked about this match. And I'll be honest with you, I love that you added more to this story, because I've told Josh, Dak Draper has been to Titan Towers and has gotten picked up in jets, and was the big name guy at NWL, as you should have been. And Moonshine, while Moonshine I think has the look, I think Moonshine Mantell looks like a star. He should have been in Los Angeles, or in Nashville on the marquee with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns and guys like that. And so like it just adds that extra layer to this story that here's Dak Draper, and we know how great Dak Draper is, and here's Moonshine Mantell, and it's crazy because Moonshine's the bad guy in this situation, but it's going to be very exciting to watch you two clash, so to speak.
That I constantly have to remind myself in getting prepared for this match is and how great Dak Draper is, and I'm at my greatest when I'm in Kansas City because the energy bring out the best in Dak Draper. So as great as I am, Moonshine Mantell is, and he can meet that greatness with how dangerous he is every time because his intensity, the physicality that he brings, he could end a match. He could turn the tide of a match. So as great as I can be, and when I get rolling, I'm like a freight train. I am almost. Or there's one guy that can stop it. If there's one guy that can lasso the tornado or bulldog the Mississippi. So that's why this match for me, it's like, my confidence is at an all-time high. My senses, it's like I'm tingling because I know that I have to rise to the occasion, and I'm going to. Be such a great test for me. I've got this nervous excitement about it because I know that it's going to be hard. It's done. It's going to feel so good to know that, like, between Moonshine and I.
Agreed. I like it. Josh, did you want to pull up some of these comments and questions in the chat for us real quick?
Yeah. So we got a couple chat questions here. Looks like Alyssa Arthur, do you like where you're at in your wrestling career, or do you wish to improve or go somewhere else?
I'm always looking to improve. No matter where I'm at, I still always want more.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Jason Wallace wants to know if you've ever wrestled in Florida, and if so, where?
Yeah. It opened in Tampa 3 weeks ago. Tampa's in Florida.
I'm glad you let Jason know that, because Jason also wanted to know, do you think you can beat Jeremy Wyatt?
Of course. I know I can beat Jeremy Wyatt. I don't think it.
And then Brian J. Bebe, your best friend, wants to know what you think about Kenny Alfonso.
Kenny Alfonso's great. Kenny Alfonso's this up-and-coming kid. He's awesome. All those, man, Camaro, Campbell, all those kids. Micah. Sorry, I don't need to start naming off all the Midwest kids that are great, but like those city area kids. Oh, they're. One of my Kansas City shows is seeing those guys.
Absolutely. I will agree with you on all of those except for Campbell Myers and SK Bishop.
What? I get it though. I do understand.
Yeah.
Do you know that, man? So you know all the disrespect that Campbell shows to Hoodie Howlett.
Yep.
You see all the disrespect shows. Campbell's first sling ring into wrestling practice, he was snuck in by myself.
That's Hoodie didn't give away that little detail, but he said Campbell's first time in a wrestling ring was with Hoodie.
Yep.
And so it's going to be very poetic because Campbell's last time in a wrestling ring could be with Hoodie Howlett. So
no one tell Major, but we snuck him in. All right, needed to look.
So we have talked about August 27th, Horseman Country. Moonshine's going to have that loudmouth Greg Jovi by his side. He's going to do everything in his power to kind of get you off your game. Do you got a combat, or you got a plan to combat, any outside distractions from him?
I think I have to go into it thinking not just that I have to beat Moonshine, and I have to beat Greg Jovi. Like I have to make sure that Greg Joba, any way that I can figure it out, and I'm not going to tip my hand on what I'm going to do, Greg Jovi has dealt with, because when it comes to a relationship like that, Moonshine and Jovi are in sync with each other. They know what each other are thinking, and when you were such a good representative like Greg Jovi with a guy like Moonshine, a dangerous guy, you've got to beat Jovi just like he's another opponent, and you've got to beat Moonshine, which is such a powerful pairing like that. Such an obstacle, but that's why I'm going with that mind.
Agreed.
So Dak, other than that obvious August 27th, where else are you booked for the rest of August and maybe early September?
I've got some stuff coming up that I need to keep secretive. But then I have some stuff coming up in a little bit more stuff around Florida. Not really coming back to the Midwest very much for the rest of the year. Just I believe at least in Kansas City area, the only company I wrestle for is Central States. I think anywhere else in the Missouri area throughout the rest of the year, I'm going back to Colorado, which I'm very excited about. I was just back in Colorado a month ago. Wrestled lovely Truly brand laughs. They're awesome. But yeah, that's wanting to see me and you were in the Kansas City area. You gotta check.
Check out.
You got to. That's right. I purchased my wife and my kids tickets. My son Dimitri got an autograph from Dak at Rise of an Outlaw. So he is a humongous Dak Draper and Howlett's fan. So he is extremely excited to come see you. But after I bought those 4 tickets, we got an email that said, Josh, does that email say 26 tickets left?
26 tickets left, guys.
26
Not many
tickets
left. Not many left.
Yep.
Wow.
They sent out an email today that said only like 26 or 27 tickets left. So,
of course, Dak Draper's on the poster. Of course, there's only 26 tickets left.
Of course.
Yep.
Ultimate Sports Talk says, I'm sad Dalton Castle won the trios title with the boys instead of with Draper and Isam.
I did too, but I'm only controlling the things that I can control.
And then Jason Wallace said, please tell me where in Florida and when you come back to Florida.
Watch my social medias at Mile High Magnum.
And then Brian J. Bebe said, can't wait to see you on the 27th, brother.
Can't wait.
Dak, can you let our viewers know where can they find some Dak Draper merchandise, sir?
Dak Draper merchandise account, which is listed on my Twitter. You can get all the links for my Twitter or Instagram, which is at Mile High Magnum, all one word. And then, of course, I'll be selling merch. I've got a new shirt color coming out at the news. Be sure to get your shirts, get your foam fingers.
Fantastic.
Against a group of children. I feel like I always end up in a push-up contest against no respect. And they think that they can do more push-ups than Dak Draper, and I have to show you that I'm.
There you go. He'll be Dak will be at the merchandise table breaking hearts right before he gets in the ring and breaks bones.
All right.
Always. So Dak, we kind of talked about the social media. You said your Twitter and whatnot. Do you have anywhere else on social media you want to plug?
Not really. I just don't post on it very often. So,
okay.
Yeah, Twitter
and then
my YouTube channel's at Mile High Magnum, but it's some match. I used to have the Magnum Minute, But that was back when I was in Kansas City. It went well, like when I pretended I cut my hand off with an icicle, things like that. Made like ketchup.
And then Dak, that's all we've got for you today. I wanted to tell you we appreciate you coming on here. Like I said, talking about answering questions, talking about the past, where you've been, where you're going. Taking time out of your personal time to do that, and then also helping us promote this awesome event we got going on August 27th in the Camelot Ballroom. So,
thank you guys. I'm thanks for having me on. 27th.
August 27th. Hey, Dak, I don't know if you saw the intro. We kind of have at the end of these interviews, we're still getting a little bit of audio feedback, a little bit. But we always have our guys kind of turn on the gimmick a little bit and say, this is Dak Draper, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
Okay, I can do that. You ready?
Yes, sir.
This is the Mile High Magnum, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
I like it.
Fantastic, sir.
I like it.
Thanks for having me
All
on.
right, man. I appreciate your time, man. It was a good time, and we'll see you on August 27th.
First table. Bye.
Yes, sir. See you, buddy.
Have a good night. All right. Dak Draper, the Mile High Magnum. Yeah, Josh, can you do me a favor and ask him if that was okay in a private message or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that was yeah, we apologize about the audio issues, guys, whether it was on our end or on Dak's end. But we got some great stories out of it. We got some great great content for Dak and Horseman Country. So lots of fun doing that. Appreciate, like I said, Dak taking the time. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We've got the Twitch going. We've got the I-70 Hot Tag YouTube coming in clutch tonight, man. Look at that.
Yeah,
I like it.
YouTube channel.
I like it. That's good. Yeah. So we're right there with Twitch, our goal, and so the next goal after we conquer Twitch is to conquer YouTube. YouTube and TikTok. Those are our next ones. So we'll get there. As everybody knows, we always like to take a 5-minute intermission after the interview. Kind of give Josh and I a minute to recoup, get some water, get a drink, go to the bathroom, whatever. Gives you an opportunity to do the same. So definitely go grab yourself a drink. Go do whatever you need to do. Come back in 5 minutes. Josh and I we're going to finish the show. We're also going to be breaking down some cards for next weekend on the 20th. We've got Premier Independent Wrestling, and then we've got WrestleMax St. Louis. We're going to break down those cards, guys, and talk about them. So don't go anywhere. We shall return.
Yes, sir. And before we hit that break button, I'm going to show our next guest this Monday night on the I-70 Hot Tag Pit Stop. We got Dak Draper's opponent at CSW Horseman Country live on the 22nd this Monday, guys. Tune in and we will chat with Dak's opponent, Moonshine Mantell.
Nice.
Kansas City has a new name in the pizza game. You Want a Pizza Me is Kansas City's only pro wrestling themed pizza food truck. Located across from the Black Box Theater in the West Bottoms, You Want a Pizza Me is dedicated to serving delicious flame-grilled pizzas named in homage to pro wrestling. Come try the High Flyer, El Luchador, Greener Than Grass, and their newest bestseller, The Undertaker. Regular and vegan options are available. They're also dedicated to getting you to eat your healthy vegetables with their selection of salads. Look for the big man in the luchador mask. Follow them at You Want a Pizza Me KC on social media. Kansas City is a top pro wrestling city, and You Want a Pizza Me is your spot for knockout, top of the card pizza. Come get some.
What is up, everybody? We are back live for the 19th episode of the I-70 Hot Tag. Appreciate you guys sticking with us. Appreciate you guys coming back. We just got done interviewing the Mile High Magnum, Dak Draper.
Yes.
Little known fact: first person that we asked to interview on the I-70 Hot Tag. And as Dak mentioned tonight, it was one of the fake Josh Elliott's. We need to call and check on our friend Luigi Primo, because if he's out there fighting off all the fake Josh Elliott's, then and one was able to sneak through and get to Dak, we better check on our friend Luigi and make sure that he's still out there running and gunning against those fake Josh Elliott's.
Yeah, he's fighting the good fight for sure. But yeah, keep them fake Josh Elliott's out of here. We don't want them.
That's right. That's right. So, just like we did last week, guys, we talked about some events that were, happening on August 13th. And now we're going to talk about some events that are happening on August 20th. It's always so funny, like the local wrestling promotions when we'll have like 3 or 4 on the same day. And it's like, man, like, I'm glad they're in St. Louis. So I'm glad we didn't have to try and, pick one to go to when there's like 5 that weekend or something,
Right. Yeah, there's 2 going on this Saturday, August 20th. As you mentioned before the break, we got PIW, Premier Independent Wrestling in Kansas, Lawrence, Kansas, and one over on the other side of Missouri. WrestleMax is holding an event called Episode 8. So two great events. We got the card. We're gonna kind of run down here. We'll start off. What do you want to start off with? PIW.
Yep.
All right. So what we got, man? We got some good stuff here. Let's run down.
Yes, we've got a trios tag team match. Matthew Palmer, Clay Huna, and Leo D versus Kurt Gannon, Calvin Aldridge, and Dr. Ison. So we have brought up Dr. Ison quite a bit, and that new breed territory, that KCXW territory.
Yeah, he primarily definitely in New Breed. He wrestles quite a bit there.
Yeah,
he's kind of been really all over the place. He's been I think he wrestled in XWE just here recently. So same thing with Calvin Aldridge. That's not the first time we've read his name either. So they're kind of making the rounds here in our area as well. So that should be a pretty damn good trios tag team match.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get some. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun. The next match we've got JC Thunder versus Daniel Maxton. JC Thunder is a great talent. If you guys haven't seen him go around, so it'll definitely be interesting to see that match. Bobby West versus Kenny Zombie Jones. I am not familiar with Mr. Kenny Jones. I hope he comes to the ring in full zombie gear.
I 100% hope that.
Yeah,
hope it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, when you got it's something to fear if your nickname is the zombie. So
that's right. Then we've got the Unbound Barbarian Ryan Cole with Deacon Kane against a mystery opponent. Yeah. So when I saw this online on social media, and somebody said that the mystery opponent was going to be the Undertaker. So,
interesting.
Yep.
Got to come out of retirement for this PIW match, huh?
Yep. To fight, the Unbound Barbarian and Deacon Kane. So, yep. Internet rumors run wild, guys. But I'm telling you, sometimes.
Are you sure it didn't say Under Baker?
See, it could have been, and if it was the Under Baker,
could have been a typo.
Yep, the Unbound Barbarian Ryan Cole with Deacon Kane versus the Under Baker with John Doe.
There you go. Money making match right there.
The next match is a couple females we are familiar with in the area, especially one Shy Lynn. She has a huge fan, Dean
Houston.
Dean Houston comes in. He's an avid watcher of the I-70 hot tag, and we appreciate his support. But he comes in and talks about Shy Lynn all the time. So I know Dean will be paying very close attention to that match. And then there is a 3-way match between El Diablo.
Yeah, you kind of skipped up. She's taking on Luna Nightshade, is Shailen's opponent that night. So, and Luna has made her rounds just as much as We talked about Dr. Ison. She was down, I believe she was down wrestling in Springfield recently, but she kind of travels around the Kansas and Missouri area as well. So that should be a hell of a women's match.
Absolutely.
Anyway, sorry, didn't interrupt you.
No, you're fine. So El Diablo, Sharpnel or Sharapnel,
Shrapnel, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Shrapnel.
Shrapnel. Matt Cross.
Matt Cross.
So I'm obviously not going with the one whose name I completely butchered. But I am familiar with Matt Cross. A little bit familiar with El Diablo. So definitely going to be a good match. And then also in action, we're going to get Juno Granger.
Yeah, Juno Granger was announced early on, really, but he has not had a match announced yet. So I'm sure in the coming days, I mean, we only got 2 days left, but I'm sure his match will be announced at some point. So, man, Matt Cross was a pretty big get for PIW. I mean, for I think him and El Diablo. I'm not super familiar with Shrapnel, but I have heard the name. I think that match is going to be damn good, just like the match we saw in UUCW last week with Matt Seidel, and the triple threat match that he competed in. I think this is going to be just as good. Matt's not as acrobatic as Matt Seidel is, but yeah, I think the match can be pretty damn good. And El Diablo has kind of proven that we've seen a couple times in our area as well that he'll be able to hold his own. So
yes, absolutely. Do you wanna start off this WrestleMax in St. Louis preview?
Yeah, we're kind of running on this WrestleMax now, guys. On the same night, completely opposite end, different state, St. Louis. WrestleMax episode 8, happening in St. Louis. The first kind of, I'm not sure what order the matches are going to go in, but the first thing we want to say is this is going to be the David Lee Memorial Tournament, which are going to raise funds for PanCan to help create a world in which patients with pancreatic cancer will thrive. And this is obviously in memorial to David Lee. So this is going to be in this tournament's kind of in to benefit pancreatic cancer patients. So pretty cool cause, kind of similar to the cause that Journey Pro did a few months ago for Headlocks for the Cure. But there's some damn good wrestlers in this. I mean,
yes,
we're gonna get
absolutely.
JDX against Fuego de Sol in the first match, the first round. We're gonna get Davey Richards against Moses the Deliverer. Davey Vega versus Raheem De La Suede, and then Karam. I'm not sure. I know I butcher his name every time I say it. And there's a mystery opponent there. They have not announced who his opponent is going to be in the first round. So possibly, I'm going to throw a left field curveball here. I'm going to say the someone in that 4-way match we're going to talk about is going to take that spot. I think they're going to pull double duty. So not sure which, but I think one of those 4-way guys. We'll talk about it here in a second. So, man, we've talked about a lot about obviously Davey Vega. We almost every week we're mentioning his name with Grindhouse. Davey Richards is kind of a St. Louis staple. Really wish he was able to. Obviously, he went to where did he go? Impact. The week he was supposed to be in Central States against Dak.
That's correct.
He got called in Impact, so obviously he couldn't make it to CSW. I really wish he would have been there. It would have been fantastic to see him in person. But JDX is awesome. We saw him in Journey Pro. Fuego's in AEW, obviously. Raheem, we've seen many times. So, I mean, dude, this is fantastic tournament. So whoever wins in the first round, whoever goes on, this doesn't matter what matchups happen after this. It's any matchup is going to be fantastic. And I couldn't pick a winner, honestly. And even though we don't know who that last participant's going to be, any one of these guys, I can't argue against winning the tournament. So,
absolutely,
yeah. So, you want to talk about the next couple matches? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. Um, we've got Merc versus ATM. I'm familiar with ATM, not a whole lot familiar with a lot of Merc's work. Zay Washington, who's a great talent,
mhm.
versus Edvin Kudik. And then my favorite match of the night, the match that sticks out on paper to me, is Marco Stunt versus the Quad Father Camaro Jackson versus Mike Outlaw versus Darian Bingston.
Yeah.
Uh, so, like I said, one of these things is not like the other, and for many reasons, obviously, but the one that sticks out the most is the fact that I'm not taking anything away from Marco Stunt. It's just I'm a huge fan of Camaro Jackson, Mike Outlaw, and a huge fan of Darian Bingston after watching him and Kenny Alfonso live. It's the first time I had seen Darian live, um, so huge fan of him, and then the other two guys, and then you've got Marco Stunt. So it's just I don't know. I I would just love to watch Mike Outlaw, Camaro Jackson, and Darian throw Marco around for just like go out and have just a fantastic match. Like kick Marco Stunt in the nuts and let him go sit in the corner somewhere while the three of them just kick the ever living shit out of each other and put on a fantastic match. And then do a comedy spot for a minute and 30 seconds where they just throw Marco Stunt around like a rag doll. Just throw him around and then go back to kicking the shit out of each other. And then, finish the match and call it a night. But yes,
Yeah.
still very confused on like I said, if that happens, I'll die a happy man.
Yeah.
Just let the three of those fantastic wrestlers, fantastic athletes, do their thing, and then Marco Stunt can be kicked around, and just for some stuff to be like, oh my god, that's a real body.
Yeah, just toss them into the fourth or fifth row. Be all right, Move the people out of the way. Just throw them out there for a few minutes. It'll be all right. But yeah, I think one of those three, I say three, four men are going to enter that last spot for that David Lee Memorial Tournament. So we'd love to see any one of them. Even if it's Marco Stunt, that's fine. Karam's in the muscle and hustle, I believe, is what they're called in Glory Pro. He's wrestled in WLW as well. So any one of those guys, Camaro, Mike Outlaw, Bankston, Stunt, if they enter in there as a surprise entrant, then that's fantastic and another phenomenal athlete to be put in there. Or somebody completely off base and maybe we don't, just a complete surprise. We don't know. And I don't know, guys. I have not checked, and I should have done this before the stream. It was a super busy week, as Chase knows, for me and him as well. I don't know if PIW or WrestleMax, either one of them, streams their event live on Twitch or YouTube like some of our other promotions do.
Well, let's find out. So I'm gonna
check that out.
yeah.
But like we said, WrestleMax is kind of it's going to be in St. Louis. It's owned by the Brian J has corrected me twice now. It's Todd Letterman, whatever his name is. Todd Letterman was his name in NWL. Can't remember his name. Eventually, I'm going to remember it. But Todd Letterman is the owner of WrestleMax. And then, as we talked about, PIW runs in Lawrence, Kansas. So Chase is still going to look up.
Yeah, I'm looking on their thing. Their poster. It's a great graphic. Wow, it's really
PIW.
Cool. No, WrestleMax.
WrestleMax. Yeah, both of them have really good graphic designs for these upcoming shows. So
yeah,
the one Matt Cross is kind of featured there on the PIW one, and then I'm not sure the graphic the one WrestleMax. I know that they've got their match graphics are cool. I don't know if I've seen an actual just a poster for episode 8, but
Yes. Let's
So while you look that up, I'm gonna kind of just kind of run down slowly the as we talked about August 20th. So there's two PIW in Lawrence, WrestleMax is in St. Louis. We're just gonna run through the rest of August, which is only 2 more events, guys. We're almost at the end of August. We've been promoting CSW Horseman Country for what feels like, 6 weeks now, 7 weeks, ever since they announced it. Every single week, we're promoting their event, CSW Horseman Country, August 27th. Jeremy Wyatt and Vic Capri in a tag team match against AEW's Ace Steel and Brock Anderson, with the Enforcer Arn Anderson by their side.
very cool. Very cool to see Ace on TV, restraining CM Punk and John Moxley. You're gonna want tough guys like Ace Steel, keeping those two guys from killing each other. So
Absolutely. And
I
then,
sent WrestleMax a message on Facebook to see if they could let us know if they stream anywhere.
okay. That'll work. And then I guess PIW, we'll check here in a little bit on that. Just one day before Horseman Country, guys, on August 26th, on Friday, Journey Pro is going to present Weekend at Journeys 2. That's their second event. They had that last year, Weekend at Journeys. This is their second annual at Lemonade Park in Kansas City, Missouri. Some good stuff, man. I off the top of my head, they got a couple good matches. I know that there's Jeremy Wyatt and Luke Langley are going to team up against the Premier. And it's funny because we've talked about this before, how our local companies, our local guys are wrestling each other. Journey Pro one night, CSW the Josh might have Ultimate Sports Talk. I don't know if that was a joke or not.
He's lying.
I don't know if that was a joke or not, but no.
You're only Greg's favorite part because you're monotone and boring like Greg.
Hey man,
So.
hey. Anyway, Journey Pro. Anyway, Jeremy Wyatt and Luke Langley are going to team up, and they're going to take on the Premier, which they're having a fantastic Twitter spat against each other. Jeremy Wyatt and Campbell Myers. If you guys don't follow them, go follow, because they are just bashing each other. And I didn't really understand why it was happening at first, because in my mind I'm just thinking, hey, we got the Premier versus the Howlett. Why is Soup Campbell Myers and Jeremy Wyatt going at each other?
So let's address that. So for as much as I love our friends at Journey Pro yet again dropped the ball, because instead of doing what needs to happen, and that's better. Anyways, instead of doing what needs to happen and making the match the Howletts and Micah against Fowler, Langley, and Wyatt, now we get Wyatt and Langley versus the Premier. Yeah. I've never wished for a meteor to hit the earth more than I have when I found out that match was going to happen. I don't know if you saw, I literally tweeted that the only thing that would make this match good is if the Howletts kick the shit out of both of those guys, both of those teams. So I'm going to start a petition to get Journey Pro to book the goddamn match that I want to see, and I want to see Micah and the Howletts take on the Reckoning or the Bitch Brigade.
The Bitch Brigade, as Hoodie called it.
Yep.
Yep.
The clock is ticking, Journey Pro. I'm gonna start rioting if I don't get my match. So,
I mean, they've been building
yeah.
it for a while. I don't know what maybe they're holding off for a big event. I don't know, but it's got to happen
No,
eventually.
they're holding off on Micah taking forever on becoming a Howlet. That's what they're holding off on.
Yeah.
It's taking way too long, Micah. We need to make it happen
You
already.
got to ask a little bit nicer, Micah. Come on. Like, just say please one more time. Maybe they'll let you in.
We already heard the conditions.
Yep.
Micah knows what he's got to do. So I will tell you that fighting that fighter in Micah that Hoodie talked about that he's seen in Micah before. We saw it come out because Micah ran to the ring with a steel chair and opened up the match. Swinging for the fences. So
Yep.
damn near took Jay Fowler's head off. So I was very excited about that.
Yeah.
So well, my friend, I think that does it.
That does it for the August shows, but we've kind of already hit on them a little bit. But what do we got going for the I-70 coming up in the next week?
So as you saw the pit stop, we have Moonshine Mantell on Monday, and then the one man wrecking crew, Brian J. Bebe, is going to come in and back up and hold Josh's hand as Josh co-hosts an I-70 hot tag with him.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a Josh hosted show. It's gonna be a Brian J. Bebe hosted show, and I'm still gonna be the co-host. So just make that clear.
It's gonna be Brian J. Bebe presents the I-70 hot tag with his co-host,
the
real Josh
Elliott. Yep.
So they're gonna be sitting down with Joe McDonald, who is I never heard of no. Greg, there's not going to be a Chase next week because Chase is going to go watch a real football team, not a joke of an organization like the Cleveland Browns.
He's going to go watch Joe Schmo pass a ball to John Doe in the third quarter of a preseason game.
Yeah, well, Joe Schmo wearing a Kansas City Chiefs jersey would still win more games and complete more passes than everybody on that Jacksonville Jaguars team that you got. So shut your mouth, bitch.
Oh, I love it.
All week I've gotten, I can't believe you're going to a Chiefs preseason game. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to a Chiefs preseason game. I can't believe it's the 20th anniversary to the I-70 hot tag, and you're going to be at the Chiefs game watching their fourth stringers throw passes. We're gonna have plenty of 20th anniversaries for the I-70 hot tag. So, who will score more points this season, Jaguars or Kansas City Royals? I bet you it's the Chiefs.
He said the Royals,
but
not the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, even if probably the Royals.
It's definitely the Royals. Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely the Royals. Yeah. I don't know. You guys might surprise everybody in your division. Take out Tennessee and
Nah. No faith. And I'm a beaten down sports fan. Who are you kicking? Or what are you kicking?
But that's no surprises this season. I agree. No surprises. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that does it for the 19th episode of the I-70 Hot Tag. We appreciate you guys joining us on Twitch tonight, on YouTube, on Facebook, all of our available social medias. We appreciate you tuning in for the Dak Draper interview. Definitely tune in Monday night for Moonshine Mantell. And then obviously next week with Brian J. Bebe and Joe McDonald. So as usual, guys, for CRMedia, my name is Chase. For my co-host, the real Josh Elliott, This has been another episode of the I-70 Hot Tag. Good fight and good night.